For decades, the sound of Van Halen was defined by two things: Eddie Van Halen's revolutionary guitar and Michael Anthony's massive, signature backing vocals and rock-solid bass. They were more than bandmates. They were an unstoppable brotherhood that defined a generation of rock music. But the final chapter of their story is one of the most agonizing in rock history. Michael Anthony was forced out of the band he helped build, and for years, he and Eddie were tragically estranged. The moment Michael Anthony breaks down is when he finally reveals the devastating truth about their relationship, confirming that the business of rock and roll silenced a friendship just as Eddie Van Halen faced his greatest battle: the exile, kicked out of the family. The fracturing began in the mid-2000s when Eddie Van Halen, along with his brother Alex, made the ruthless decision to replace Michael Anthony with Eddie's son, Wolfgang Van Halen. This was not an amicable departure. It was a painful, permanent exile from a band Michael had devoted his life to. Anthony was forced to watch from the outside as the group continued without him. The heartbreaking truth is that this professional schism became a massive personal barrier. The tension made it virtually impossible for the two friends to simply reconnect as people, even as rumors began to swirl about Eddie's deteriorating health. The desperate call, a final brief peace. The most devastating part of Anthony's revelation is the admission that their final interactions were few and heartbreakingly brief. As Eddie's cancer battle intensified, Michael Anthony, driven by the primal need to reconnect with his old friend, reached out. In a tearful interview, Anthony described the quiet, private moments where they finally spoke again, away from the influence of the band and the management. It was a brief, crucial, and human reconciliation. However, Anthony broke down when admitting that the years of estrangement had cost him the chance to share his true, final feelings with Eddie. The forced distance meant he only got a limited amount of time to be his friend again before the end came. The visible grief, the price of fame. Michael Anthony's visible grief and tears serve as the final, emotional confirmation. The business of rock and roll can be profoundly cruel. His heartbreak stems from the recognition that he lost not just a bandmate, but a friend he had known since the 1970s. The tragedy of their story is that the professional feud stole the most precious thing they had: their time. Anthony's tears are a testament to the fact that money, fame, and band disputes meant nothing when facing the final, silent enemy. He is mourning the man he lost twice, once when he was replaced and again when he died.